In many of my other videos, I'm talking about neighborhoods that all have an HOA. So today, I wanted to talk about neighborhoods in Scottsdale that do not have an HOA because it's a question that I get asked a lot. So let's talk about it right now. As I said, in Scottsdale, most of our communities have an HOA or a homeowners association. What does that mean for those people that don't know? It is a fee that is an additional fee, either monthly, quarterly, or sometimes annually, that you pay, and the homeowners association then takes care of maybe your exterior maintenance. It maybe takes care of common areas, streets, gates, other things like that. Sometimes these HOAs also include water, sewer, trash as far as part of your payment. It really depends on what your HOA covers. But today we're going to talk about those places that have none of this. So let's get into it. Where can you live in Scottsdale that doesn't have an HOA? Well, there's actually a lot of places. You do have to kind of drill down into those specific areas, but you can find them. Let's start first in South Scottsdale. That area has a lot of places and a lot of options for you to buy a home without an HOA. Now, let's talk about what those houses look like. Usually they're a little bit older. Sometimes they're built in the 50s and the 60s. So that means sometimes the house sizes are a little bit smaller unless they've been remodeled and added onto. The other thing that you'll find in those homes is that the homes are a little bit more traditional in style as far as the floor plan is concerned, where they have a dedicated kitchen, they have a dedicated living area, they have a dedicated family room, they have usually some long hallways and bedrooms that feed off of that, more of that traditional floor plan that we saw back in those times. Some of the reason that people like living in this South Scottsdale area where there are no HOAs is the location to Old Town Scottsdale. Lots of restaurants, lots of outdoor dining areas, lots of bars, places to go. Usually you'll find a lot more activity. There's the art walk that's down by the Fashion Square Mall. Lots of outdoor activities that go on down in that South Scottsdale area. So close by that South Scottsdale area is an area that is in Scottsdale, but most know it as Arcadia. So these are a little bit larger home sites and a little bit larger homes. Again, some of these homes were built back in the 60s and the 70s, but oftentimes these homes are being either completely remodeled or taken down to the ground and they've started over. This is a highly desirable neighborhood to live in right now. People absolutely love it because of its location to the Old Town Scottsdale area, Fashion Square Mall, as well as places like Le Grand Orange and Chelsea's Kitchen, two very iconic restaurants that people love to go to. But again, the benefit is no HOA. So as we travel into Central Scottsdale, that's where it gets a little bit more difficult to find some of those locations that don't have HOAs. There is one community in particular that is also a very desirable place to live called Paradise Valley Farms. I know it says Paradise Valley in the title, but it's actually across the street from Paradise Valley. So it's technically in Scottsdale. If you're wondering kind of where is it in location to some of the other areas that maybe you have heard of, Gainey Ranch, McCormick Ranch, it's right central within those locations. And so you've got the Gainey Ranch shops, you've got places at Shea and Scottsdale Road. You have a lot more shopping and a lot more dining right in those areas. And again, the benefit, no HOA. So in Paradise Valley Farms, one of the things that you will find as well is that some of these homes have horses. There are a few that still have it. You do have the ability to have horses within Paradise Valley Farms, which is one of the things that people love about it. You can have an amazingly beautiful, large estate home as well as a horse facility. Small, but a horse facility. Okay, continuing more north in Scottsdale, we have what everyone refers to as the magic zip code. What is this zip code? It is 85254. Not many HOAs in this zip code. So homes in this area are built usually in the 70s or 80s. So if it has not been remodeled, it likely will need some updating. So oftentimes one of the design features that I see in this area specifically are those sunken in living rooms. Man, did they love those sunken in living rooms in those times. A lot of people, if they've remodeled their house, they have filled those in. That is a big clue if they don't have that sunken living room, that it's been remodeled. So something to note about the 85254 magic zip code is you are technically a Scottsdale address, but you are paying Phoenix taxes. So what does that mean to you? It means that if you plan on registering your kids or yourself for any of the Scottsdale activities, you will have to wait until everybody that lives in Scottsdale has a chance first. And you will not get the same rate that the people within Scottsdale get. It's not that much different, but it's just something for you to know and be aware of. Another area where you will find no HOAs is as you're traveling east on Shea towards Fountain Hills. There are some pockets in there that also don't have an HOA. Sometimes they're smaller homes, sometimes they're bigger homes on large lots. Many of these homes were also built in the 1980s, so you will see that style of architecture. Some of the larger homes on these larger lots are going to be full custom homes, a little bit more of that ranch style home that a lot of people talk about when they first move to Arizona, and you will find those in that area. So as we go a little farther north, we come to an area that is in Scottsdale, but it is called Rio Verde. Biggest thing to know here is that it is actually governed by the county of Maricopa. You are not technically in the city of Scottsdale. Well, you are, but if you were going to do any developing, build a home, anything, your plans would all be taken to the county of Maricopa. That is also who you pay your taxes to. Now, when you enter into Rio Verde, the biggest thing that people say is, holy cow, I feel like I've stepped back in time in the old western towns of Arizona. Why is that? Because a lot of the big horse ranches that were in Scottsdale long ago have moved out into Rio Verde. They have the ability to have large parcels of land and have large training facilities or large breeding facilities. Another big thing to know about the Rio Verde area is a lot of the roads are not paved. There are also a lot of washes out there. So when we get rain, although we don't get it very often, some of those roads will wash out. So it's just something to be aware of. Almost every single home that I know of out in the Rio Verde area is also on septic. So another thing for you to know. The other thing that they're almost all on is they're on either a shared well or a private well. So if you've got more questions about that, I can answer that for you. It's just, again, something to know. There are a few areas out in Rio Verde that are on what we call hauled water. Now, does that mean that you personally have to go haul your water? Not necessarily. You can if you'd like, but there are also companies that will haul the water to you. But again, something for you to know if that is an area that you're looking in that has no HOA. So if you are looking for a home that is outside of an HOA because you just don't want to pay that fee, you don't want to follow those rules, that is absolutely fine, and we can find it for you. So if you've got questions, I'm sure I probably didn't answer every single one of them here. Again, call me, text me, email me, type a comment down below. I will answer it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.